Some cars are just tools to get from A to B.
Hang on. But this isn't one of them.
Every petrol head has that one car, the one car they won't let go of, no matter the offers, no matter the years. And this is mine, my home-built classic Mini.
But before I tell you that story, we need to go back to before I even owned it. This is 22-year-old me, who'd always wanted a classic Mini, who somehow managed to buy this, my first ever Mini. It did, however, seem to be attracted to other cars far too much, and after it was fixed for the first time, it unfortunately met its demise in the barrier of the central reservation, courtesy of this lady. Having wanted a Mini for so long and it ending so soon, there was unfinished business, so I decided to build another one. I mean, how hard can it be? Turns out a lot harder and a lot more expensive than I ever imagined.
I didn't have what I have now. I had my mum's single garage, some basic hand tools. I just started my apprenticeship, so I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was determined. I went and found another shell for £1,000. Luckily, a friend of a friend was selling one. It had fitted a Metro Turbo engine, which sold for 950 quid. So that shell cost me 50 quid with a logbook. Along with the shell and the salvageable parts off the old shell, a plan was set. After getting into it, the car needed a fair amount of welding, something I didn't know how to do yet. But with a fair bit of determination and help from people at work, we got it done. In all, it ended up having 2 new sills, 2 new floors, and a boot floor. The rest of it's pretty much original. Every suspension part was either refurbished or replaced. All the brakes had new seals and pistons, all new fuel lines, new wiring loom, custom headlights, custom stereo, reupholstered interior, and the biggest challenge, painting the damn thing. I'd never painted a car in my entire life, and I had the space of a single garage. But with a bit of determination, some YouTube videos, and a bit of bodgery, I think it turned out all right.
The whole process took just over 3 years, and next year marks a decade since I finished it. So what does it look like now? Fortunately, in both crashes of that Mini, it was obvious who was at fault. But if I'd have had a hardwired dash camera, it would have been even easier to prove. Fortunately for me, this week's channel supporter has sent me a hardwired dash camera kit to go with the dash camera. The star of the show is this hardwire kit. Conventional power adapters that come with dash cameras take up a cigarette light socket, and you've got to remember to plug them in. With the hardwire kit, it's on all the time. It has 2 power connections, one for all-time power and one for ignition power. So when you're in a car park and the ignition's off, you can still record what's going on around, and if someone bumps into your car, you've got it on film. If you're worrying about it flattening the battery, it's got an intelligent battery monitor to stop that happening. Installation's super easy. You've only got 3 connections to make. You've got a ground lead and then the 2 fuse adapters, which, when you locate the fuse box on your car, it's just a case of finding an ignition fuse and a live fuse, and then you pop them straight in, and then off you go. CIEVIE's hardwire kit is suitable to use with all of their cameras. They've sent me their 4K front 1080p rear one to try it on. This thing's got all the usual features: loop recording, parking mode, G sensor, all the things you'd expect in a dash camera. Comes with a memory card as well, so you don't have to buy that. As with everything I recommend, links are in the description. Check them out. Now, back to my Mini, which has a dash camera fitted. Starting with the colour scheme. I allowed myself 3 colours: grey, black and red. So that carries on throughout, inside and outside. The outside is Yukon Grey, that's a BMC colour, which is the same family as Mini, kind of, so that was my reasoning. Black roof, black wheels, and then we've got red accents here, there and everywhere. Starting at the business end, which is the bit everybody asks about, it is a 1380 block, 296 cam, an HIF 44 carb. It's about 100 horsepower at the crank, about 80-ish at the wheels. LSD gearbox, standard gears, none of that straight cut nonsense. I actually like to be able to hear myself think. Aluminium rad, we've got a fuel pressure regulator up here as well, and then servo brakes. That bit's pretty standard, other than the quite sporty engine. The exhaust is a 2-inch straight through with a small back box at the back, so it's pretty loud. So it's an AirPods job if you actually want to drive any distance. While we're around the back, we've got clear lights and then blacked out everything. We've got no chrome, a few stickers here and there.
For wheels and tyres, we've got 13x7 mini lights wrapped in Yokohamas. Behind those is 8.4-inch discs on the front and standard drums on the back. Around the front, we've got completely custom headlights. These indicators are in the side lights. They're really funky switchback bulbs, removable grille, and then more blacked outness. Moving inside, there is a lot more custom bits and bobs. Starting with the dashboard, we've got a fiberglass dashboard, which is Alcantara trimmed. The Alcantara extends onto the headlining A pillars, B pillars, C pillars, onto the door cards. The door cards are wrapped in a kind of marble vinyl because I didn't want any exposed paint in here. We've got a Alcantara steering wheel. You can see it's a bit of a theme here. And then we've got all the gauges. They're from a Triumph Herald, Stag, something like that. I can't remember, but they're a bit different. In here I've got 9 speakers for the stereo because I was young and stupid when I spec'd the stereo for this, so that's just ridiculous. We've got custom trimmed gear knob, handbrake, everything's kind of custom in here. Following the theme from the outside, we've got a red trim around the gear knob, around the handbrake, and then we've got red harnesses on black bucket seats. When I bought the shell, it had a roll cage in it, so I left that behind. There's no sound deadening in it whatsoever, so all of that combined translates into something that's a bit mad.
And mad it is. Driving a classic Mini on the road is like having a go-kart. The wheels are right in the corners, it's super low weight, which means its handling is super direct and raw. There's no ABS, no traction control, it's just me, the car, and the road. When you ask anybody, young or old, if they think of a classic car, what do they think of? A classic Mini. It's that iconic shape. It's been around for so long and through so many iterations, and yet still retains that original idea. Transporting 4 people around, super simple, super basic, and yet they're amazing good fun. It's the kind of iconic British car that everyone's dad had, granddad had, or even have now. And because it handles like a go-kart, you don't even have to slow down for corners. I don't know if it's classic Minis in general or this one in particular, but they all have that kind of effect. When you just go for a drive on a lovely summer's day, everyone looks and waves and is happy to see you. So that feeling is reciprocated. So when you drive, it's a happy place to be. You forget about the world and you can just go for a drive. I have nowhere to go particularly. I'm just enjoying the experience. So this is the car I'll never sell, and this was my story. I want to know in the comments your stories about the cars you'll never sell. I'll catch you in the next video.